What's up? What's up, everybody? It's Holden, DC, AP, hanging out with you today. We're just talking about how cold it's going to be around the country. It's freezing cold here in Denver. We got some snow finally, DC. We got one dude's in Omaha where all it is windy during the winter, just windy all the time. It's freezing. And this is great football weather, dude. We're going to have some football weather in KC. We're going to have some football weather in Buffalo. I'm excited, AP. We're going to talk NBA. This is an NBA show, okay, everybody? But too much NFL going on, my friend. Come on. This is amazing. We got injuries up in the air. We got you and me and DC think Pacheco is going to get 25 touches at least this weekend. What's going on, my friend?
I mean, do I not even get a moment to victory lap my guy Jordan Poole? I mean, I got laughed off the show yesterday. A 50 piece from Jordan Poole. That's all I'll say. But he smashed
in the NFL, and we're starting with Jordan freaking Poole. Come on, AP.
Yeah, we're starting with Jordan Poole because he smashed. He was like 7% owned. No one played him. Everyone made fun of me. I ended up locking him, and it was a good night. So yeah, but I digress. Yeah, we got a nice slate of football. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah. Chiefs are going to get a nice, easy win. Should have hopped on the -4. Easy money. Easy money. Yeah, Kansas City. Oh, I can't wait it. Like the Chiefs haters
they're not covering. They're going to win.
They're definitely. How are they not going to cover?
They're going to kick a field goal and win.
It's going to be -20. They're going to run Pacheco 35 times.
Yeah.
It's going to be like 23-10, something like that. Tyreek Hill is going to get nothing. They shut Tyreek Hill out in a dome in the best conditions you can possibly have. They absolutely know how to scheme away Tyreek Hill. I mean, it's going to be, I can't wait. It's
right, broccoli awesome. Taco.
Oh, slide on in, broccoli. Miami did you not watch the game last week? Those two teams are terrible. People are thinking the Bills are going to go to the Super Bowl and win. No way, man. The AFC is up in the air. I think anyone can get there except for the Miami Dolphins.
And the Chiefs.
Except for the Chiefs. No, I mean, you're really counting out Patrick Mahomes?
Yes.
I've been quiet. I've been very quiet.
Yeah.
Everyone seems to be counting. You're counting out Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah.
The guy that just wins.
No matter how great he is, if your receivers are dropping every other ball, there's no way you're going to win. I mean, they might. I think they're going to win the game. I think the Dolphins cover the 4.
We don't need receivers to catch balls in this game. We need Pacheco to run 35 times. He does that, we're good. It's -20 degrees, we're good. No, to be honest, though, it's a really great slate. I think it sets up. So we have slates on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, obviously, and then a slate that encompasses all of the games, too. And it's going to be a ton of fun. I mean, Browns, Texans, that's going to be a great game, obviously, on Saturday. The Bills game with, what'd you say, a foot of snow or something that's going their way? 1 to 2 feet of
snow over the weekend, 20 degrees, windy. That's going to be a lower scoring game than everybody thinks. I got to get you the numbers on the cold weather, but DC
has to be an advantage, or that has to be a benefit. I mean, I know the Bills are 10-point favorites. They're easily going to win, but you got to think, like, if you're the Steelers, you your chances if there's a lot of snow, because what do the Steelers do? They just run the ball. So it's going to be a ton of fun. I'm with you guys.
What up, DC? Talk to me here, buddy. You're another Chiefs guy. The difference will be Butker. I'm with you, Jimmy B.
All right. So the Dolphins have better. Why did they not easily beat them in a dome? No one's talking about this. I mean, like, KC absolutely owned them, and they didn't even have a good game. So get out of here.
DC, what's up?
What's up? So yeah, I did laugh. It was kind of in jest at the Jordan Poole call. I'm bringing it back to basketball just for a moment. We'll talk some more football.
That's fine.
I got opinions too. But I was with you, AP. I did end up locking him in my 6 lineups. He came through. We talked about it on the show, I ended up just game stacking that game like crazy, and it didn't get there. I didn't have a good night, but it was one of those, like, it felt like it should have, right? It missed the total by 35 points. Still was pretty close. Poole went off, and I don't know. We've been talking about it, and honestly, it's kind of relevant for tonight's 4-game slate. I do think game stacks in the NBA, if people are right, can get there for big scores if you get a close game or if you get overtime or whatever. So Yeah, Poole is awesome. That was a great call. 4-game slate tonight. And honestly, we have time to talk a little football because there's one team that just dominates the slate, the Dallas Mavericks. I mean, I think people's lineups, the roster should be loaded with Mavericks tonight. But back to football, at least briefly. I mean, I'm with AP on most of this stuff. I've been off the Chiefs for really the second half of the year. I jumped off the Mahomes, Kelsey train. Outside of Pacheco, I really haven't played many Chiefs. And I'll be doing the same thing. But I think the Chiefs easily cover, what is it, 4.5 now? 4.5. Miami, I mean, I can't think of a team built worse for the frigid conditions than the Miami Dolphins. This is a team that just, they thrive when the going is good for them, right? When they're in Miami, when the other team's got to bake in the Miami sun in September, like in the Broncos in that, second or third week of the season. You get them in cold conditions. You get two under pressure. You get a banged-up team. And we saw, look at the second half against the Bills. That game was in Miami. They couldn't do anything. They got nothing going in the second half. Now they got to go on the road, face the Chiefs. It'll be deafening in Arrowhead. Horrible conditions for a guy like Tua to throw the ball downfield. He's got a weak arm anyway. I think the Chiefs absolutely pound the Dolphins. I'm going to ladder it up, AP, is what I'm going to do. I'm going to bet the Chiefs. Money line, -4, and then all the way up to -21 or something. I think the Chiefs win this game 24-0, something like that. Just it's going to be an abomination of a performance by the Dolphins. And I've been in the best ball streets for NFL. I know we had a show earlier, I think with JSU and Rubio, but I mean, if you look at the lines from some of these early games, like Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, that's a very, very popular, early round stack. But there could be a struggle in those conditions. There might be a lot of running game in Buffalo too. So you could see those Josh Allen teams maybe bowing out early in the first round of the best ball playoffs too. So really, really looking forward to the football weekend. Not looking forward to the weather here in Denver. We're going to get that 0 to -10 for 3 days, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I'm not looking forward to that. But is what it is. It's going to be cold everywhere. And I don't know. I don't mind the cold for the first weekend of the NFL playoffs. Kind of feels old school football. And I think the Chiefs are, for all the Chiefs' problems, I do feel like this year they're built to play in those conditions. So I think the Chiefs win that game easily.
All right, 2 trends for you. That one that works definitely. Past 10 games where the kickoff temperature is just 40 or below. The Dolphins are 0-10. They've lost those games by an average of 17 points. Yeah. So that's going in your favor. Second thing, and this is my buddy John Paulson. Now, this was a few years old, but everybody thinking there's going to be low-scoring game when it gets cold. 10 degrees or below. There were 10 games, and it was the highest total points that there have been. 43.3 points in those. 20 or below, 42.8. So when you got weather that's 80 or above, the totals actually go down. I think they set this total really well at 43.5, but I don't think people really dig into the numbers enough when it comes to the weather. And if you're betting this, at least look into that. But yeah, the history would tell you that the Dolphins are screwed. The one thing I'll say, though, is they can run the football. Maybe Mostert's hamstring pops out, but they still got Achane. It's going to be a good game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout like you guys are saying. Riz's collectibles. Well, you take that, right, AP? 7-zip?
I never said a blowout. I said KC was going to win and going to cover. I mean, I think maybe 10-point win, something like that. What did I say? 23-13, 23-10, something like that.
Can you even play DFS in California? I didn't even know you could.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can.
You can? Oh, that's good. Way to go. Enjoy your 50% tax and your nice weather and your freak show out there. All right. So a couple things. First of all, Up to Lock Sunday. If you are a subscriber, DC, myself, Mangone, we're going to give away a pair of $100 tickets. So NY Giants, New York Giants, one of our subscribers, he finished second in the RPS Fantasy League. He's like, I don't want the $200. Give it back. So there you go. So a pair of $100 tickets we're giving out. I think it was it Jake? He said, here we go. Jake Swales. I missed JT. Well, guess what? You can catch JT tonight on the Old Guys Pod live at 9:00 Eastern. Old Guys Pod live at 9:00 Eastern. And give a thumbs up to this thing. Hey, couple things I also want to get in here with you. And I didn't know this. I saw this on Underdog AP. So Embiid's out tomorrow, Joel Embiid. He's missed 10 games. If he misses 8 more, he can't win the MVP.
Yeah, I heard that today too. That's
fascinating.
I like that rule.
Yeah,
I do too. I mean, it's a good rule. We need more rules like that.
What's up, Shayna? Definitely, man. 18
it's not
games.
Just Shayna Savage. You got to get the Savage in there too.
Oh, hold on a second. Hold on. What do we have here? just in time. Oh,
no, he popped off.
Schlong left. All right. Schlong had showed up for a second. Then he's like, screw it. We got 3 people there. I'm not doing the show. So he's out. I love you, Schlong. Good to see you, buddy. Cash show's done. I didn't know. I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. I'm glad. I mean, just go bet Jokic for MVP because Embiid's going to miss 8 more games, isn't he? There he is. We got Schlong. What up, Schlong?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
What's going on,
Sean?
We're just talking football, actually.
Yeah, we were talking football.
There we go.
So you don't got to worry about anything. What's going on in your world?
What was your guys' takes on the sites like splitting up the games?
Well, DraftKings has got the 6 gamer. FanDuel sucks. Screw FanDuel. They're the worst.
Can we get Schlong's take on the Chiefs game first? We'll bring it in. He probably hasn't heard the discussion that was going on. What's your take on the Kansas City game? Going to be -20 here. I know for a fact it just keeps getting colder and colder. It feels like 0 degrees out right now.
My buddy said he could get tickets for like $40, and I'm like, why the fuck would you ever do that? I was like, you couldn't pay me to go. And I was like, I mean, this over-under seems way too high. And I mean, it's what, 43.5? I mean, I don't care if these are the best team, like offenses in football, like they still have decent defenses. I mean, both teams have a decent run game. You'll probably see a lot of that. I personally don't really want like huge pieces of the passing game. I mean, it's really weird to say, but like, I don't know. I'd probably be more confident in like Flacco than like Tua. Like putting out.
Give us a score prediction for the game, Sean. Give us a score prediction. Chiefs and Dolphins.
17-14 Chiefs.
Beautiful. As long as the
there we go. We got the Chiefs win.
Covers.
Yeah.
I got a 23-13. Draft sheet has it like 30-7. Is that what you said?
By the way,
something
Jake,
like that. Chiefs by a lot.
Yeah. Jake, there's no better way to lose money than tailing me. I mean, that's just don't do it. Just don't do it. I'm just warning you right now. Bryce, I'm telling you, like I looked through the numbers here, the highest over under of any history of games is when it's 10 degrees or below. It's fascinating to me. Absolutely fascinating. The problem is that Patrick Mahomes' offense suck. He just has nobody throw it. Unless Kelsey wakes up, they're in trouble, man. It'll just be Pacheco. It'll be a low-scoring game, and that means Miami's going to be in it still.
I think the Chiefs' defense is underrated, personally.
100%.
And, you've seen it time and time again with Mahomes where they just show up for playoff games and kind of disregard the regular season. Mm-hmm. I think they have a better running game this year with Pacheco. Like, he seems like a really good back to have in this cold weather than most backs. So that's kind of
also the Chiefs being able to rest their starters coming into a game like this where, I don't know, I think that's going to be a big deal as well.
Is it going to help them catch the football when it's cold?
They're not going to have to throw. They're just going to run it 50 times.
Just run it the whole time. Yeah. Then that means that it's going to be tough to blow a team out if you're running it the whole game. All right, here's a rumor, okay? This is from a talk show host in Pittsburgh. KDKA. Oh, Marty Griffin. I know Marty a little bit. Steelers Bills could be moved to Cleveland. I'm not buying it. I have a hard time thinking the NFL is going to take Buffalo's home field advantage away from them.
Yeah, that could do.
It's a nice little rumor.
I mean, I think the team would have to agree to it. Like the Bills themselves would have to agree to it, and no team is ever giving up home field advantage.
No. Just like dropping rumors on the show, unsubstantiated rumors.
I still think that if there's that much snow, that it helps out the Steelers. So I get that it's in like, but when it helps them out a lot. So
there's also
like it evens the playing field, the snow, right? Like it just kind of neutralizes
offense. Boom. Yeah. Offense is running backs, runners, wide receivers. They all go crazy. Let me just say this: there's also differing reports on the weather there. Some are saying just a super windy and just a little bit of snow. Some are saying 1 to 2 feet of snow. You never know in Buffalo because the lake effect. But all right, that's a lot of football we just talked. I liked it. And then
didn't
Rubio
this happen last year with the Bills?
Huh?
Like this,
they did move a game or something.
Yeah. Didn't this exact same situation happen?
Yes.
It's like because the teams weren't going to be able to fly in or fly out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Pittsburgh can drive. They'll be fine. It's not a big deal. Swinehart. Rubio wants some best ball takes for the playoffs, DC. Will you draft Laporta since there's an outside chance he plays this week?
Just depends on the format. Like some, you got to get first in your group the first week. Some like half the field advances. So yeah, it all just depends. That's one of I think that's the best part about best ball, playoff best balls. There's so much strategy to it in constructing a team that can compete for, the championship, get into the Super Bowl. So Rubio, if you want the best ball takes, you'll have to invite me on your best ball show, and I'll show up and give you some best ball takes today.
All right. If you want more football, we'll have it. We got a lot of football shows coming up, whether it be DFS or betting. So we're going to talk NBA here in just a second, I promise. But tomorrow we got the Print Factory. So you got to be a subscriber for that. JSU, Big T, ODB, great show. Picking winners with two of the best bettors I've ever worked with, JBC and Statsational. We'll be doing that show tomorrow. Of course, we'll have the NBA Hardwood. We'll have the final countdown as well. And then a playoff Wood show at 3 o'clock Eastern on Saturday and our Up to Lock show. So we'll have the Wood show with Big T, JSU, and Wiley. And then myself, DC, and Mangone. We're going to go an hour and a half from 11:30 up to lock. So that's what's going on there. It's time to talk a little basketball. AP, I'm going to start with you. We got a 4-game slate today. I just want some broad, overarching thoughts on the slate before we dig into every game. We got a super game between the Celtics and the Bucks, but it looks like with Luka out, Dallas is the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, that's Dallas is going to get a lot of ownership, from a value perspective, and then, all the way up to Kyrie Irving too. So there's going to be a lot of different ways to play it. And it kind of feels like a slate where it's you take the Mavs value and you mix and match these studs. I think every game, just about every game, you have a stud that you could create a good argument for playing. So that's, Celtics, Bucks. You have Tatum, Giannis, and then, Shea for OKC, which, God, that game has to be a blowout. And then the late game, I mean, Anthony Davis, what he's doing right now is absolutely insane. And I do like what the Lakers are doing. Everything is revolving around LeBron James and AD. And they've made some nice changes to the rotation, to the starting lineup there. And, but it really focuses things on AD, LeBron from a usage standpoint. The Sun side, I've just been fading those studs when they're all three healthy and playing. It does become a situation where I think you can fade them. But the slate feels – it feels easy. But at the same time, it's never easy. You got to get the right combination. You got to, get the right combination going. And it's going to be a mix of this Mavs situation and the value there with the studs from certain games. So it's a fun 4-game slate, though. It's a great multi-entry type of night, and looking forward to breaking it down with you guys.
DC, how many Mavericks can we play? Can we go up to 5 tonight?
Yeah, I think so. I think you maybe should go up to 5. And like AP said, it feels easy. It feels straightforward. I'm guessing, Bryce is the big cash game guy among the three of us. I'm guessing it feels pretty straightforward for cash games tonight. But, you're talking tournaments, it feels straightforward for everybody, right? And only one person gets to win each tournament, no matter how straightforward it feels. So you do got to find probably a couple places to get different if you can. You got to pick the studs right. That's obviously the biggest thing. There's plenty of value obviously most of it on the Mavericks. And then, you got to try to find a couple spots to get different. So we'll try to get there on the show today.
All right, talk to me, Bryce. Little 4-gamer. I want to get your thoughts here.
These are like my least favorite slates to pay for cash, because cash is just jam 5 Mavericks, and then like you get 5, or well, Kyrie counts as a stud, so then you get 2 studs and like 1 mid-tier option. It's like kind of pointless to me. So I mean, if you're out there grinding it, better, hats off to you. Jaden Hardy, I see projected for probably the highest ownership I've ever seen on a single player. I mean, he's always insanely high owned when he starts. He's sub 4K. I mean, there's not much the sites that can do to prevent that, but like, I mean, it is what it is. The Knicks are a slow team. It's really hard for Hardy not to get there, but I could definitely see some of these other Dallas pieces not getting there. I remember one of my bigger NBA wins was this exact scenario in high stakes, and Kyrie Irving was like 98% owned, and I was like the only one that didn't have Kyrie, and Kyrie didn't get there because like they just played like shit. And like I think Kyrie would be a better fade than Hardy, just price related, and you can like load up on other studs. But I will likely be 4 max Dallas tonight. I find it really hard to get to 5 on a team, even on a 4-game slate. But if I hate my runs with 4 Dallas, then I'll probably increase it to 5. But right now I'm 4.
Okay, very good. Let's get into this game. Again, a 4-gamer. Like button would be great. I'm not like JT. I'm not going to threaten you. You'll get the plays of the day. I'll threaten JT tonight on the Old Guys pod. Again, 9 o'clock. Love it. Our next to last one as we talk NFL and just shit that happens to old guys like prostates and stuff. Okay, Boston and Milwaukee, AP. This is a sexy game, but the question is, how sexy is it for DFS, right? And we've got a Bucks team that's struggling a little bit right now. Last 10 games, they've hit just 37% of their three-pointers, ranks 20th in the NBA. I don't know if that really helps or hurts tonight, but thoughts on this one and how much exposure you're going to have to the Bucks and the Celtics. No Horford, right? Horford's out tonight.
Yeah. No Horford. I'm kind of surprised by the spread here. I think Boston should be favored. We talked about this, like when the Bucks played the Jazz. I mean, DC, you were on that show. Like we weren't. I mean, the Jazz are playing great basketball. We talked up Jazz money line yesterday on the show. They ended up getting the win. That parlay did not come through. What was it, 100-1 DC? But you love to see that the last leg got there and got there with ease. But this Bucks team is not playing good basketball right now at all. They're bad defensively, especially against opposing backcourts. Malik Beasley, Damian Lillard, just not good defenders. What is intriguing here is Dame Lillard's price. The problem is, you wonder if he's like going through something right now. I know he got divorced, right? I think as he left Portland, and I know he sat out the last game. Now this is pure speculation, but he sat out the last game, personal reasons, and he's been playing bad. Like he's not been good at all. He hasn't found his way, kind of working alongside Giannis, and we're getting closer to the halfway season. So they got to figure something out. It could come at any point. It's Dame Lillard. The problem is the matchup tonight is tough. You're going up against one of the best backcourts, if not the best defensive backcourt in the league, in Derek White and Drew Holiday. So the matchup here is going to be really tough. It's going to come down to Giannis. I think it does help a little bit with Noah Al Horford. He has historically played Giannis decently. It's not like Al Horford's going to stop Giannis, but I think it is a bit better than Porzingis down there. So Giannis is a really intriguing spend up because I think he has to carry the load here. Bobby Portis has been terrible. I didn't even want to play him last slate when they rested a bunch of people or Dame was out, and it was such a good spot for Bobby Portis against the Jazz. I did not want to play him. I ended up playing him a little bit. I fully regretted it. He's been terrible. He's just been really, really bad this season. His shot's not falling. Nothing is going right for him. And that impacts it. That's like part of the story here for this Bucks team, because that second unit with him coming in has been a bright spot for them historically. So I think, man, I want to bet the Boston side here. It's in Milwaukee. I get why they're favored. They have Giannis, two-time MVP. Man, I don't know. I'm torn. I think Giannis, great spend-up option. Middleton, a little bit too high of a price for me with Dame back. And I don't want to fall into the trap of Dame Lillard. The price tag is really nice. I just think something is off with him. I hate this matchup. So for me, it's Giannis or pass. And then on the other side, you can always play one of these studs, but there's a lot of mouths to feed when all five are healthy. So I still think this is a spot where you maybe wait, you play Giannis and then wait and get some of these studs in one of these later games.
So Lillard was accused of cheating. DC, percentage of NBA players that cheat on their wives.
It's got to be. I mean, it's got to be pretty high. I bet most of them have the thumbs up. You marry an NBA player, they're on the road all year long. Yeah,
you got to know.
It comes with the territory.
Yeah, AP, what do you think? Like 85, 90%?
97%.
What? 97?
Or maybe 95%? I don't know. I mean,
Schlong,
we're traveling every night.
I was going to say 95.
95.
All these dudes, it's like either let it happen or just.
Josh, it was an accident. It's my fault. It was an accident that I put you in there. 95?
Yeah, dude, these guys make everyone around them sign contracts and no one talks about it. So they're just stay out of the media.
Shayna Savage. There's definitely a DC. They got to know. Or they don't know. They just block it out of their head. DC, first game of the night. It's a good one. Celtics, Bucks, thoughts?
I like this comment. It's about as high as Hardy's projected ownership tonight. Yeah, I think that's
90%.
About 95%. Yeah, that sounds good.
Right.
So yeah, these two teams did play earlier this year. Giannis struggled in that game. It was really Brook Lopez that really smashed. So if you want to look back at that game, you can. I think the bigger thing here, Boston on the back-to-back on the road. They played Minnesota last night. That game went to overtime. Drew Holiday, Derek White, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown all played between 40 and 44 minutes in that game. I think that's why Milwaukee's favorite here. And it is kind of just a gut call, but I think Giannis is going to come out and have a big, big game against a tired Boston team. He is, outside of Kyrie, my favorite, kind of true stud to spend up on. And I really do think Giannis is going to get the job done here. He's the guy I'm trying to get to with Milwaukee. Usually when I play Giannis, he's so expensive and you need so much from him that I don't often play any other Bucks with him because he has to do so much in every statistical category that it just doesn't leave a ton of room for other Bucks to get there. I don't mind Brook Lopez. I think you can pair those guys, but I'm not going crazy with the Bucks other than Giannis. Boston side, I don't love it here. I think they're going to potentially scale back the minutes for some of their guys after so many minutes last night rather. So I'm on the Bucks side here. Giannis is a play I want to get to, and only 4 games, but just not that much room for, I don't think, value plays outside of Dallas tonight because the Dallas value is so good. So this game is kind of Giannis or bust for me.
All right, Bryce, your turn, buddy. What are we doing with this first game tonight, Bucks Celtics?
I like this game DFS wise. I think it's a great way to get different. I think everyone's going to spend on LeBron and AD in that Suns game. Thing is, you have a lot of studs playing on a 4-game slate. The Dallas game's total shit, but you got all the guys in this game, you got all the guys on Phoenix, you got all the guys on the Lakers, and even the secondary type of studs, the Knicks guys. So I kind of think ownership's going to be off this game a bit, which makes me like it here. If you're playing for 100K, you got to get different somewhere. So I like spending in this game. If you're going to play it, I like Giannis a lot. He's by far my favorite play here. After that, Tatum, I think I would go Dame over some of these secondary Boston guys. And then it's just like Chris Middleton's kind of hard for me to get to because it's like, I don't know, are you going to spend 7.8 on Chris Middleton or are you going to get up to Dame at 8.5? But like those are the type of plays that get you a little different. So, if you have a take on one of them, I think it's a good way to like kind of get your lineup off. Like if you have Chris Middleton, your lineup's going to automatically be like not chalky. And like he can still like put up a really solid game for you here. But like I said, I like spending. If you're going to play this game, I think the cutoff for me would be like a Brook Lopez type play. Like I'm almost always higher on Lopez just because he can run into like these randomly like really good stock and 3-point shooting games, which make him a great GPP play. Plus, he only has center eligibility, so like we don't have any centers on Dallas that like you really want to lock. Like all these guys that you want to play from Dallas aren't center eligible. So I kind of like Brook Lopez in this game after Giannis the most. I do agree it's a lot of mouths to feed. Boston's on a back-to-back. They played a ton last night, which would push me to the Milwaukee side if I had to choose between the two.
Yeah, they went to overtime last night. They played 5 games in 7 days. I mean, this team's got to be gassed. So do any of you think this could get out of hand? That pissed off Giannis Bucks team and an exhausted Celtics team, no?
It could, but I mean, Boston's also the best team in basketball.
Yeah.
So that kind of helps mitigate blowout concerns on my end.
Okay.
I'm more surprised they're not resting anyone. I think they're just doing it because it's a national TV game against like one of their bigger rivals.
You're down with that, DC? You think so too?
Yeah. I think they would normally rest players here. If this was just an average game on the road against, the Pistons or something, I bet a couple Celtics would be sitting out. But yeah, they're in the lineup tonight. But you could see the Celtics pull the plug early if things don't go their way.
Yeah.
I gotta add one last thing. It is a nice bounce back spot for the Bucks. They have had some rest, but 2 bad losses against the Rockets and Jazz, and the Spurs played them really close, and back-to-back losses against the Pacers. So it does make a little bit more sense. It is.
That's why I think Giannis is going to nuke, man. I think he's going to put.
He has to
tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can play him with the Mavs value. I like that path a lot. I think he's spot on.
Anybody betting Giannis props tonight? Too inflated? No. Okay.
I mean, what's his PRA?
I mean,
it has to be through the roof.
I don't know,
like 58
rebounds. Do points and rebounds too. What do you think? It's like 50.
I don't know. I placed an NBA prop bet for the first time in a long time today. I just played the Dinwiddie unders from stats and that hit. So I trust our betting team with NBA more than I do. NBA is probably my least like straight up sports bet sport. Unless I have like a read on like if someone's going to be sitting out for injury or something, or like there's an edge, it's just so hard to beat.
52.5 PRA. So I was even a little bit low.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, you guys got a good job, DJ, Andy, and Steven. Okay. Speaking of the bet side, for those of you that are new to betting and you're looking to learn how to bet, for those of you that want winners, I highly recommend you get on our bet side. You can add that on if you're already on the DFS side. If you're not on the DFS side, you want to check out the bet side. It's been spectacular. I know Schlong posts some bets. AP's been posting tons of NBA bets. DC, you're in there too. Tomorrow I got a show. Friday I got a show with JBC and Stats. These are the 2 big guys over on the bet side with Schlong and Showdown. Christine, if you bet props, dude, she has been crushing it, like really killing it. She's been amazing. So, and that's the other thing. Like we've got a lot of subscribers that ended up working for us. If you're really good at what you do, you can end up working for us. But check it out. AP, do we have a code? Anybody know about a code that we got going on right now, or do they just need to sign up? We make one up.
It's a great question.
Yeah.
That is a great question.
Working through
New Year 15, maybe? Is that a code?
Yeah, see if
New
it
Year
works.
15. There you go.
Yeah,
just go and try.
New Year 15.
If not, shoot me a DM we'll get you one.
Sorry
get
to
you
put you on the spot, buddy.
But hey, no, Christine has been killing it.
Yeah.
And if you bet NBA sides and totals, I mean you go on a series of runs throughout the season. Like you'll have your hot runs and cold runs, and you just gotta like waver through it. It could be a brutal time, but over the long haul, it's definitely profitable if you stick with it.
If you're in need of action around the clock, get in the bets channel on the RPS Discord.
Yes.
I mean, they're betting on Belgian middle school soccer and winning. It's Schlong, seriously, you guys, and I've brought this up to you before, Bryce. It's like there's leagues I've never even heard of, like minor league darts, anything.
A couple weeks ago, I didn't have a lot going on, and I decided I was going to bet every single bet that was posted in the bets chat for the entire day. It was like 172 bets, and
I can't do that.
I ended up with like a 4% profit. So yeah, I will take it. It was nice. I just wanted to do it just to see, just to have it.
Can't do it. Yeah.
The craziest thing to do is to round robin like all the college basketball.
Yeah.
You get like a 60 team round robin. You know, if you get like 40 winners or something, you're hitting like crazy parlays. You have to do it for like a penny.
Yeah. The minimum on DraftKings is I think 10 cents per bet. But yeah, you round robin like 2,000 bets or something. It's a good time.
I always love those soccer dogs. Like anytime I see like a dog, like a money line dog soccer bet, I'm usually hopping on it. Those are definitely the best.
For sure.
Yeah, and listen, there's premium plays too, so you don't have to bet 200 bets a day. There's usually 5-6 premium bets, and that's good in the NFL team. I'd get in there right now for the wild card. Like I'll be tailing JBC and the boys, so no doubt about it. Christine just put her bets in. Okay, she's the prop master. Absolutely,
she does it game by game too. So
I know,
like tilting, like mid, like she's not like grabbing off early line.
Dude, seriously, there's easily 75 college games in here that JBC just posted. Yeah, and she just hit the Christine just put the Boston Milwaukee props up. So good stuff there. And we got premium plays, Calgary, where it's minus 27. Let's get into the next one. Like button would be great. We'd really appreciate that. AP, I'm coming to you first on the next game. I don't know how long it's going to take. Blazers Thunder, 231 total. So the total's there. Not too much, but this is gross. The Trailblazers just suck ass. So what do you want to do?
So if we didn't have the Mavericks situation and just the elite value in that game, I would have more interest on a shorter slate. And the reason why is because in these spots where OKC, like, we're not trying to predict blowouts or anything like that, but in these spots where the likelihood that they get a lead and extend it, we see them go deeper into the rotation. So we see guys, and we talked about this earlier in the week, but Isaiah Joe, Case and Wallace are two that typically get a little bit more run. And we played these guys against the Wizards. Not going to do it here because the Mavericks situation is just too good. I think you can always play Shea. Like, the guy is incredible, but are we going to get that back and forth type of environment? I don't see it here against the Blazers. So I'm under on OKC. Again, if you have a read or want to get different, you can play Shea. You can play Shet. I would rather target the game that we're going to talk about next. And then on the other side, the Blazers, there's just a lot of risk with this team right now. If you think it stays close, it has to be due to, Anthony Simons having a big game. I guess the one piece that is kind of intriguing would be Shaedon Sharpe, just because he was a guy that was playing 40-some minutes. Now he's coming off the bench, and the last game blew out. But if it stays close, they're not afraid to extend his minutes, even off the bench. So he would be someone that I would consider. But on the surface, I'm not too excited about this game. And feel pretty good about it.
Bryce, are you excited about this game with the Blazers?
I'm excited for Shea. Anytime you get to play against Scoot Henderson, he's going to hand you some free steals and blocks. That's kind of my take here. Shea or bust for me. I would keep Chet in the pool for sure. Then on the Blazers side, if you think it stays close, and you're playing Shea, someone from the Blazers has to do well. They're so freaking cheap. I think Simons is my favorite play, 7.4. He's the most likely route to do it. But Sharpe at 5.3 is going to go totally unowned just because he projects awful because he hasn't been playing minutes. But, if he gets hot off the bench, they're going to let him play. The reason that Portland's doing this bad, in my opinion, is Scoot. Scoot is one of the worst NBA players I've seen. He gives you so many free stats on the other side of the ball. I mean, if they do somehow keep it close, I find it really hard that Shea isn't going for 60 here.
Shut up, Kevin Fallick. Shut up. I don't want to hear your crap today. I'm done with it. Go shave your chest. What's up, DC? Trailblazers?
Yeah,
What are you shaking your head for, AP? This guy's always in here trolling. He's always busting balls. Then I do a show with him. He's really nice. He's got his two kids.
I was updating my stuff and I didn't have the screen up, and so I didn't even realize I was laughing. So
Fallick, get out of here. You know what? Should I just ban Fallick from the YouTube chat and then we'll put him back in?
No, don't do
later?
that. That happened once, and then we had no idea how to get him back.
You're right.
So don't do that.
I called you and I felt really bad because I banned Fallick on accident. You're right. Screw you, Fallick. I love you though.
I think it's funny that this exact situation has happened before.
It has. Yeah, I forgot that I banned him one time, and then it was an accident, though. It was only for 5 minutes, but it ended up permanent. DC, game 2. How about you?
I mean, if you're playing, math multi-insure, if you're playing 150, obviously you can't just cross off any game really entirely on a 4-game slate. But if you're, playing one team or 3 teams or 10 teams, I mean, I think you can mostly avoid this game. With third and schlong, I think SGA is the best play. That's kind of the general theme on this slate overall, right? All the values on Dallas, and then you're trying to pick out the stud, whether that's Giannis or Tatum or SGA or LeBron or AD or Kevin Durant, right? There's plenty of stuff to choose from. We know where the value is, and that's kind of where I think this slate will be decided. I have no problem with SGA tonight. I think he'll go overlooked. I think a lot of people, including myself, are kind of playing or hoping for a little bit of a blowout game here. I mean, Portland badly overmatched. Third nailed it. Like Scoot is just, they got to play him. It's the number 2 pick, but he's really holding this team back right now. And I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. So I think the Thunder takes care of business early here. And if you want to go to some of that Thunder value, AP's guy, Cason Wallace, had a pretty good game for us against Washington. And I wish he was a little cheaper, 4,500, and he's not nearly as good a value as the Dallas guys. But, any value play that's not on Dallas will be very, very low out. So if you can pick the right one, that is maybe the best way to separate yourself other than getting on a low and stud. So I'm lower on this game overall, but certainly the field will be as well. So if you do have if you can pick out the one guy from this game that goes off, it's going to put you in a pretty good spot tonight.
Speaking of betting, Showdown Christine now posting very cringeworthy jokes with innuendo in the bets chat. So AP, I think you're going to need to punish. She's definitely going to need a timeout in there. We can't give Fallick a timeout here. Can you give Showdown Christine a timeout in the chat, please? It's too much. And my
what are you talking about?
My virgin ears can't handle sex jokes in our chat. Speaking of that, by the way, live show chat. If you're a subscriber, you can leave us a question in there, and we might have time to get to it. So I'm actually excited about that. Hold on. The Twitter machine just blew up. Oh, it's for tomorrow, Zion. What a fat ass. Game 3. I'm coming right back at you here, DC. Knicks Mavericks. So you and I will both agree we could play 5 Mavericks tonight, and there's a lot going on in this game. So please help us out here. This will be the chalk. No question. Break it down.
Yeah. So Luka out, Dante Exum out, Maxi Kleber out, Derek Lively out. Kleber and Lively are doubtful, but doubtful guys rarely play in the NBA. So you got to just go on the assumption that they are going to sit. It just doesn't leave a lot of guys left, especially, guys that like all the usage. I mean, Doncic is the highest usage guy or one of them in the entire league. Exum does a lot for this team when he plays. The 2 of their big men. I mean, the dudes that are left just have to play a lot of minutes, and they have to have high usage. So, I mean, Kyrie Irving, I think he is the best stud spend up. I do agree with Third and Schlong, though, tonight that he's the guy that you can fade because at 9K, you still need 50 plus from him, right? And he can play pretty well and end up with 47 if his shot's not falling, whatever it may be. So I do think he's the guy you can fade. Jaden Hardy, I mean, he's going to be 90, 95% owned, but I don't know. Like if you want to hope for an injury or something like that, okay, go ahead. It is what it is with him. But, I mean, I think Hardaway, Derek Jones Jr., Josh Green are all tremendous plays. I never play Dwight Powell, but on this particular slate, I think he's a pretty good play. I just think he's going to have to play some minutes. He's lower. He's probably fifth for me. And then Seth Curry is the guy that I don't think I'm going to go to. I'm seeing him projected like 25, 30% ownership. He's just done nothing all year, even when he's been in one of these spots for the most part. So I'm off of him, but I'm loading up on Dallas. I kind of think you have to, especially if you're fading Kyrie. I will say the Knicks have been amazing since the OG Anunoby trade. And they've been blowing teams out too. I think they won by blowout. Yeah, in their last game, they blew out Portland. They blew out the Sixers 2 games ago. And they could absolutely throttle Dallas here. So there are ways for Dallas to kind of bust. They just have so few players left that I think even in that case, they would still have multiple guys get there. And then on the Knicks side, I really like Jalen Brunson here. He is obviously the backcourt mate for Luka Doncic for a couple of years. The Dallas Mavericks made a big mistake letting him walk in free agency. He's been awesome all year. Didn't play many minutes against Portland because of the blowout. I think back in Dallas, Brunson is another guy that I absolutely want to pair with some of these Dallas guys. I like Julius Randle too, and then OG Anunoby. I think you can play as well if you want to go there. But Brunson and Randle in that order, the two guys I'm looking at from the Knicks, and I'm absolutely loading up on Dallas. I personally kind of think you have to on this slate.
Fallick wants some thoughts on FanDuel on this game, and I'll just say this, Fallick, you're a subscriber, so why don't you just ask them in the premium in the chat? Just go in the NBA chat, and these guys will take care of you. Bryce, let's take care of Fallick here. I do love Fallick. This game is going to be the chalk for the Mavs, right? Can you start with FanDuel, please? Just for the sake of K Fallick.
Yeah. I got everything rigged tonight, not cash wise. I'm just playing tournaments. So, I mean, this game, Julius Randle is always a better play on DraftKings, but it's not hard to fit someone like him. I think that positions are a little more restrictive on FanDuel, just because you get 4 guard slots and you got to play Hardy in one of them. Like DraftKings, so many people have multi-position eligibility. So that's going to lead you more towards spending on big men, which I think that means guards could go a little under the radar. SGA is way more expensive on FanDuel, but he also scores better on FanDuel because he's one of the better stock guards. So he's probably my favorite contrarian option there. FanDuel also did a much better job of pricing up Kyrie on this slate. He's 10K at FanDuel. There are easily ways for him not to hit his value at 10K. I think he's probably a decent underweight on if you want to be underweight on anyone here. It also brings Derek Jones Jr., guys like him that stock really well but don't score as well into play. Hardy's 5K on FanDuel instead of 3.7. They did a much better job once again with pricing here. So I don't think you need to go as crazy on Dallas on FanDuel as you do on DraftKings, but 5K is still too cheap for Hardy in this spot. So that's why you're seeing him. I think Hardy's going to come in around probably 50% on FanDuel and 100% on DraftKings, just because they'll be oh, well, if I want to fade Hardy, I can do it on FanDuel in type of deal. And those are the type of guys I love, when there's a pricing discrepancy, but he's a great play regardless, just going ham on him on the one side where he's more expensive. So I would probably say Hardy's my favorite play on FanDuel. On DraftKings, I'm not going to use Hardy as my favorite play because he's everyone's favorite play there, but I'm going to go with Tim Hardaway Jr. there. 5.3, I think people want to go for the super value here. You can get Hardy and Seth Curry for 3.3 and 3.7. I think that's going to be a pretty popular guard pairing, and Hardaway gets you different than that. I will say Hartenstein, I think, is a really good play here. You know, you could see this be a super sloppy game. He could get a lot of blocks and steals. Same with OG. So those two, and then the Knicks studs, Brunson and Randall, in that order, are my favorite plays on the other side.
AP, you want to give any thoughts on FanDuel in this game for Fallick?
FanDuel?
You just say no.
No, I mean, no. I think Bryce broke it down perfectly
Good.
for FanDuel. I was ready for DraftKings.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
The pricing is way different, though, so
FanDuel's
it does
dead
make
to me.
things interesting.
Yeah, FanDuel's dead. DC, do you even play FanDuel?
I've played almost entirely DraftKings NBA this year. I play FanDuel for football, baseball, and stuff, but not for NBA.
FanDuel's great for football normally, but they really pissed me off with their slate this
Dude,
weekend.
this slate, I mean, they got no 6-gamer. They got all these cockamamie slates. I'm not even going to bother with it. They're the worst with this football slate.
I mean, I'll probably just play GPP for it as a cash game protest.
You and me talked about this, Schlong, last week. The 6-game slate on DraftKings is perfect. 6 games, man. That's a big slate. And then you want to play a 3-gamer, a 2-gamer? Let's go. Shayna Savage from Texas wants FanDuel info. All right, you got some. Also sign up if you get a chance. New Year 15, Shayna. It's wonderful stuff. Suns Lakers, our final game. AP, I'm coming to you, buddy.
I don't get to talk about the Mavs.
No.
I prepared all day to talk about this game.
You wanted to talk about it.
I went to bed early last night to make sure that I was ready to talk about this game.
My bad.
No,
I think you last. I didn't know I put you last on that.
No, that's good. You got to switch it up. That's what JT Hayes does.
Obviously didn't work out well for me. I forgot you didn't do the game.
So I think if you're multi-entering tonight, one of the best things that you can do is just set a hard cap at 3 max per team, because you're going to get projection systems are going to force in 5-man, 4-man Dallas Mavericks stacks. And I got nightmares because we had the information on the Grizzlies, the other game, and we got the Mavs side at a 2-point advantage. I think the line ended up moving 2 points, which is pretty massive from a betting standpoint. Dude, Dallas looked bad, really bad. And obviously, a 1-game sample, we can't really take too much from that. But now they don't have Luka tonight. It's going to be on Kyrie to distribute and kind of carry the load, along with Jaden Hardy, along with a lot of low usage dudes. Josh Green, Derek Jones Jr., Grant Williams. These are guys that have to get there through block steals and efficiency on the offensive end, hitting shots. And if they don't, they all have bust potential, in my opinion. Josh Green has bust. All of these guys have, in the certain script, they have bust potential. And when you look at the Knicks with OG now, they have been – so DC, you talked about it early on. Before the OG trade, the Knicks weren't as good defensively. Now with OG in there, looks like they've really improved things defensively, and that's what OG brings to the table. And even Grimes, when he's getting in there and getting some more run as well, he's a decent defender. Obviously, can hit some threes, and he's been playing really well. So I'm setting a hard cap on the Dallas Mavericks side because I have a ton of interest in the Knicks side. So that's just my stand tonight. I think I'm not gonna overstack the Dallas side of this game. I'm gonna cap it at 3. I like the value pieces. I like Hardy a lot. I like THJ off the bench as well. But plays like Seth Curry or Grant Williams, I'm gonna underproject these guys. I don't trust them in a spot like this. I would rather play the Hardys. I would rather play the THJs. Kyrie, obviously, really, really good play, but I prefer Jalen Brunson on the other side of this game. First time back playing in Dallas. I think the last time he had this opportunity, he was hurt. I was just reading a message there from Glock. So, yeah, I have a ton of interest in Brunson, and I have a ton of interest in Julius Randle as well. So, don't forget about the Knicks side of this game. Very, very, very elite. We know Thibs loves to run a tight rotation, and I think the minutes side, you get more predictability on the Knicks side from a minute standpoint. So that's my take on this game.
I don't want to forget you again, AP. So I'm going to have you go first on the last game. But First, like button would be great. New Year 15% off your first payment. Highly recommend it. Get in it. If you're already on the DFS side, check out the bet side, revamped bet side. It is absolutely crushing. I'm up a lot of units during NFL. Of course, the props have been great. The sides have been great. And it really is a terrific product. Just a reminder, if you are a subscriber, you get our Up to Lock shows. We won't be doing an NBA Up to Lock show today, but we will be doing our Up to Lock on Sunday for the NFL 3-game slate. DC, myself, and Mangone. And one of our subscribers, NY Giants, this is the crazy thing about RPS. This happens all the time. These guys are just paying it back. Like, all right, I got enough money. I want enough money. Thanks for all the help, guys. I'll just give away some money. So 2 $100 tickets for the Sunday slate, or you can use it on Monday too. We'll be giving those away on Up to Lock. Okay, one more game to get to. AP, I'm coming at you, dude. We've got AD's probably going to play. LeBron's probably going to play. Cam Reddish, questionable. Hachimura is doubtful. It is the Suns at the Lakers. Do we want to pick some studs out here? AD is going absolutely bananas, isn't he?
Yeah, I have AD as a lock spend up option. I should be cautious, like saying lock. Out there, a term I probably use a little bit too much. Used it a lot with Jordan Poole yesterday. But no, Anthony Davis, you got to love what he's doing. I still feel he's a little bit underpriced. The Lakers right now, they are Darvin Ham. I mean, credit to him. He is doing exactly what like Wes Unseld Jr. for the Wizards isn't doing from a coaching standpoint. He is trying to maximize everything he can in this rotation to emphasize LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And that's what you should do when you have AD and LeBron James. I like what they're doing with Christian Wood. They're bringing Christian Wood off the bench, and we get this bigger lineup with AD and Christian Wood out there at the same time. And Christian Wood's actually been playing better basketball. So, like, I think he's somewhat of a sneaky play here. And the other reason I don't mind him, and this is tournaments only, but like AD, you can play. He has much better position eligibility. You can play him with power forward, centered, and forward spot. And Christian Wood is center only. So it's LeBron. It's AD. I prefer AD, obviously. And I actually have a little bit of interest in Christian Wood. And then D-Book on the other side. I want to attack the Lakers through the backcourt here. I know KD's back, but I have a little bit of interest in Devin Booker. If we get, and this is where you can get different in tournaments, like everyone's going to look at Kyrie, everyone's going to eat Brunson, rightfully so. I mean, those are very, very, very elite plays. But you're telling me like Devin Booker, when we're looking at the slate at the end of the night, can't outscore those two guys? He definitely can. Even with those other guys like playing alongside him. You need the right game environment. And look, it's a tight game, but we have a 238 total here. You could definitely get that back and forth type of environment that you need with a guy like Book, where he's in LA, he's trying to show out. And so I think Devin Booker is a really, really nice tournament play at 8-9 over on DraftKings.
All right, very good. DC, I'm going to give you a shot here. Any late night hammers, and is AD going to be part of the core?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can get different with this game if you want to. None of these players are going to be in my core. Again, I'm going in on the Knicks Dallas game. Obviously, all the Dallas value, and then I love the Knicks studs, Randall and Brunson in particular. So it doesn't leave me a lot of room to get to guys like Booker, Davis, LeBron, Durant, but they're obviously all fine plays. And I do think there's a scenario here where this game, kind of takes off. It's I assume nationally televised game. These guys should get big minutes. They're all playing well. And you got plenty of value on Dallas. If you do want to play this game, I would try to get a stud from both sides of it. Honestly, is probably the take I would have if I was going to play this game. I personally only playing a few lineups tonight, so I'm not going to get there. But yeah, it's going to be an awesome game to watch for sure. For DFS purposes, I'm personally mostly kind of eating the chalk in the Dallas Knicks game. Brunson, Randall, two of my favorite studs on the slate. So that's where I'm at. But absolutely, if you want to go to this game, you'll certainly be a little bit different than the field.
Bryce, how much exposure are you going to have in the night game?
Probably a decent amount. I mean, I think these four studs are pretty solid. I wouldn't go I think Beal and Reeves would be like the super different players. I'm not going to be playing like much like D'Angelo Russell type of stuff tonight. I think Nurkic might sneak in my pool just because I'm not quite as high on Dwight Powell as some of these other guys, and you need a center. So, yeah, I mean, I don't have any insane takes here to where it's like, oh, like AD is way better than like any of these other studs, because I don't think he is. Like, I think him and SGA are pretty even. I think the one I'm going to be highest on here is AD, simply because like he has the big man eligibility stuff on both sites. So he's just finding his way into more of my builds because of that, even when projected similarly, like based around the Dallas pieces. So yeah, we also have 50K showdown to this tonight. If you guys are into showdown, I know that like from a content perspective, we've been trying to like push a lot more showdowns. Now the DraftKings and the sites are leaving off the late games in general. That's made the showdowns better. So, yeah, I would limit my captains in showdown here to the top four. Both the Lakers guys, Anthony and Davis and LeBron, and then Katie and Booker. I wouldn't play any of the cheap captains because showdown pricing has been super soft. Like, it's really not hard to get one of these big guys or one of these expensive guys captain. So, yeah, we'll have content for you guys on that on the site. 50K. I mean, you know, it's almost as big. It's almost getting as big as the main slates now. And, you know, maybe if you have a live lineup, you need to get the double sweat in there. So,
all right, let's get some plays of the day. Like button would be wonderful. We'll start with AP. AP crying play of the day.
Can you start with? Sorry, I realized I missed something. Can you start with DC?
With someone else?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do the DC gets blocked by a guy in shorts with a belt on play of the day.
I'm going with Mr. Jalen Brunson back in Dallas, coming off a rested game blowout. He's playing awesome this season. And, yeah, Dallas, I mean, they don't really have much for defense at all. I think the Knicks are going to play well tonight. I hope Dallas does enough to keep it close. But Jalen Brunson putting up 50-plus DraftKings points for us.
All right, Bryce, let's go. What's play of the day tonight?
Play of the day, I'm going to go SGA. He's going to wreck poor Scoot Henderson's soul and send him back to college and or the G League.
Whoa.
The G League.
All right, AP, you have to give a play of the day now.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go. I like it. I just had to confirm something on the flow chart. I'm going Devin Booker. I just think this. I love the Knicks Mavs game. Not getting away from that at all. But I just think Anthony Davis. I'm gonna have a ton of him. I want one other stud run back. I just think with them all healthy, KD, Book, and Beal all playing, people are just gonna naturally like fade that spot. And on a four game slate, it doesn't like playing a guy like Devin Booker. It's an easy way to get different tonight, and I think we're gonna get. I could see this game going over the total. I think it's going to be one of those exciting games tonight, back and forth, and that's when I want to roster a guy like Devin Booker.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go with the shows coming up. Subscribers, you'll always get the Up to Lock shows. Tonight, Old Guys Pod with Uncle T, JT, and myself. We'll break down the 6 games in the NFL playoffs, DFS, a little bit of bets too. We've got the Wood Show, NFL Wood, on Saturday with JSU and Tony. I might stop by on that one. Then Sunday, we'll have Morning Wood with the Prez, JSU, and Big T. And then DC, myself, and Mangone on the final countdown up to lock from 11:30 to 1 o'clock. So looking forward to that as well. AP, good to see you, buddy. DC, good to see you. And you as well, Bryce. Appreciate everybody for checking us out. Make sure you hit the like button. And as always, keep running pure.